Today, I want to share with you 3 incredible stories that carry powerful lessons for our lives. These stories remind us of the boundless possibilities that await us when we align our thoughts and actions with our highest selves. The first story is titled, 87-Year-Old College Student, and the content of the story is as follows. The first day of school, our professor introduced himself and challenged us to get to know someone we didn't already know. I stood up to look around when a gentle hand touched my shoulder. I turned around to find a wrinkled little old lady beaming up at me with a smile that lit up her entire being. She said, "Hi, handsome. My name is Rose. I'm 87 years old. Can I give you a hug?" I laughed and enthusiastically responded, "Of course you may." And she gave me a giant squeeze. "Why are you in college at such a young, innocent age?" I asked. She jokingly replied, "I'm here to meet a rich husband, get married, and have a couple of kids." "No, seriously?" I asked. I was curious what may have motivated her to be taking on this challenge at her age. "I always dreamed of having a college education, and now I'm getting one," she told me. After class, we walked to the student union building and shared a chocolate milkshake. We became instant friends. Every day for the next 3 months, we would leave class together and talk non-stop. I was always mesmerized listening to this time machine as she shared her wisdom and experience with me. Over the course of the year, Rose became a campus icon, and she easily made friends wherever she went. She loved to dress up, and she reveled in the attention bestowed upon her from the other students. She was living it up. At the end of the semester, we invited Rose to speak at our football banquet. I'll never forget what she taught us. She was introduced and stepped up to the podium. As she began to deliver her prepared speech, she dropped her 3x5 cards on the floor. Frustrated and a little embarrassed, she leaned into the microphone and simply said, "I'm sorry I'm so jittery. I gave up beer for Lent and this whiskey is killing me. I'll never get my speech back in order, so let me just tell you what I know." As we laughed, she cleared her throat and began, "We do not stop playing because we are old. We grow old because we stop playing. There are only 4 secrets to staying young, being happy, and achieving success. You have to laugh and find humor every day. You've got to have a dream. When you lose your dreams, you die. We have so many people walking around who are dead and don't even know it. There is a huge difference between growing older and growing up. If you are 19 years old and lie in bed for 1 full year and don't do one productive thing, you will turn 20 years old. If I am 87 years old and stay in bed for a year and never do anything, I will turn 88. Anybody can grow older. That doesn't take any talent or ability. The idea is to grow up by always finding opportunity and change. Have no regrets. The elderly usually don't have regrets for what we did, but rather for things we did not do. The only people who fear death are those with regrets." She concluded her speech by courageously singing, "The Rose." She challenged each of us to study the lyrics and live them out in our daily lives. At the year's end, Rose finished the college degree she had begun all those years ago. 1 week after graduation, Rose died peacefully in her sleep. Over 2,000 college students attended her funeral in tribute to the wonderful woman who taught by example that it's never too late to be all you can possibly be. When you finish reading this, please send this peaceful word of advice to your friends and family. They'll really enjoy it. These words have been passed along in loving memory of Rose. Remember, growing older is mandatory. Growing up is optional. We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. Rose's journey is a powerful testament to the limitless possibilities that await us at any age. She taught us that our dreams are timeless and pursuing them is not constrained by the passing years. Her commitment to lifelong learning and embracing challenges with vigor reminds us that growth knows no boundaries. First and foremost, Rose instilled in us the profound value of laughter and humor in preserving our youthful spirit. She believed that laughter not only brightens our days, but also fosters deep connections with others, nurturing our well-being and resilience. Secondly, Rose underscored the transformative power of dreams. For her, attending college fulfilled a lifelong aspiration, igniting her sense of purpose and fulfillment. She urged us to safeguard our dreams, for they are the fuel that propels us forward, enriching our lives regardless of our stage in life. Furthermore, Rose distinguished between mere aging and true maturation. She taught us that while aging is inevitable, choosing to mature, to glean wisdom, fortitude, and optimism from life's journey, is a conscious decision. It entails embracing change wholeheartedly, extracting lessons from every experience, and living with a heart free of regrets. Lastly, Rose's unwavering courage and her poignant rendition of "The Rose" at her own farewell encapsulated her ethos of embracing life unreservedly. She bequeathed to us a legacy of authenticity, urging us to savor each moment, nurture meaningful connections, and leave behind a trail of love and inspiration in our wake. Now, let's move on to the second story, titled "The Seasons of Life." There was a man who had 4 sons. He wanted his sons to learn to not judge things too quickly. So he sent them each on a quest, in turn, to go and look at a pear tree that was a great distance away. The first son went in the winter, the second in the spring, the third in summer, and the youngest son in the fall. When they had all gone and come back, he called them together to describe what they had seen. The first son said that the tree was ugly, bent, and twisted. The second son said no. It was covered with green buds and full of promise. The third son disagreed. He said it was laden with blossoms that smelled so sweet and looked so beautiful. It was the most graceful thing he had ever seen. The last son disagreed with all of them. He said it was ripe and drooping with fruit, full of life and fulfillment. The man then explained to his sons that they were all right because they had each seen but one season in the tree's life. He told them that you cannot judge a tree or a person by only one season, and that the essence of who they are and the pleasure, joy, and love that come from that life can only be measured at the end, when all the seasons are up. If you give up when it's winter, you will miss the promise of your spring, the beauty of your summer, fulfillment of your fall. Don't judge a life by one difficult season. Don't let the pain of one season destroy the joy of all the rest. The parable of the pear tree, a timeless reminder of the ever-changing nature of life. Like the seasons that grace the tree, we too experience cycles of growth, dormancy, blossoming, and fruition. Each son, witnessing only a single season, formed a judgment based on their limited perspective. Yet their father, wise in the ways of the world, revealed a profound truth. To truly know a tree or a person, one must embrace the entirety of their journey. Just as the pear tree reveals its true essence through the passage of time, so too do our lives unfold. The winter of hardship may seem bleak and barren, but it holds within it the seeds of spring's promise. The vibrant blossoms of summer may dazzle the eye, but it is the autumn's harvest that brings forth the fruits of our labor. Remember, don't let the challenges of one season cloud your vision of the whole. Embrace the entirety of your journey, knowing that each season holds its own unique beauty and purpose. And just as the pear tree finds fulfillment in the fullness of time, so too will you discover the richness and abundance that life has to offer. In the words of the poet Rumi, "Don't grieve, anything you lose comes round in another form." So, embrace the seasons of your life, for they are all part of the magnificent tapestry that makes you who you are. And here is our final story, Our Value. A well-known speaker started off his seminar by holding up a $20 bill. In the room of 200, he asked, "Who would like this $20 bill?" Hands started going up. He said, "I am going to give this $20 to one of you, but first let me do this." He proceeded to crumple the dollar bill up. He then asked, "Who still wants it?" Still the hands were up in the air. "Well," he replied, "what if I do this?" And he dropped it on the ground and started to grind it into the floor with his shoe. He picked it up, now all crumpled and dirty. "Now who still wants it?" Still the hands went into the air. My friends, you have all learned a very valuable lesson. No matter what I did to the money, you still wanted it because it did not decrease in value. It was still worth $20. Many times in our lives, we are dropped, crumpled, and ground into the dirt by the decisions we make and the circumstances that come our way. We feel as though we are worthless. But no matter what has happened or what will happen, you will never lose your value. You are special. Don't ever forget it. Just like that $20 bill, we may be battered and bruised by life's trials, yet our inherent worth remains untouched. We are not defined by our circumstances, but by the indomitable spirit within us. You are not a victim of your past, nor a prisoner of your present. You are a masterpiece in the making, a unique and valuable creation. Even when life throws you to the ground and grinds you under its heel, your value remains intact. Never forget your inherent worth. Like a diamond buried in the rough, your true brilliance may be hidden beneath layers of pain and adversity. But with courage and perseverance, you can polish away those layers and let your light shine forth. In the words of the poet Maya Angelou, you may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeats so you can know who you are, what you can rise from, how you can still come out of it. So, embrace your journey, even the messy, crumpled parts. For it is in those moments that you discover your true strength and resilience. Remember, you are priceless, and nothing can diminish your inherent value.